Saddle cannot, due to an injury, previous injury. But this one, he'll have his speed already up because the motorbike will be pulling off at 45, thereabouts. Or a Derny, it's not actually a motorbike. Okay, there we go. We get the whistle for the next lot around. Rider to come through. Teo Choi, Corey Boddington, and looks like Godfrey. Is not in the program. That is Wayne Godfrey. Four to go. Still have Mitchell Louis sitting on the bike. Sebastian Topping sitting in there behind him. Followed then through by Chris Mullins, Teo Choi, Corey Boddington and William Godfrey at the back. I think you'll find that's when Corey Boddington will try to make a move. Everybody's still just looking. He hasn't tried it yet, so we'll come on the 12 this time and get the call of 2 to go. Now you can see the head going now. Boddington's starting to pick the pace up. He'll hit the front of this thing, build up a good top end speed, and these other riders, especially the junior riders, will not have the gearing to bring him back. Mitchell Louis is trying to chase him down. Teo Choi's in there having a go too. Chris Mullins is coming forward. Teo Choi is coming through at a great... Christopher Mullins, Sebastian Topping and Wayne Godfrey will roll through to bring up the back end of the race. He's got a good top end. Coming around now for Heat 3. Little sprint sessions that we have for the sprinters. Working together. Sandra Stoy's got a pretty good... Followed through there then. Ebony sitting up nice and close. I think we've got a ring in out there. Not on the program. There. Ebony just having a bit of a look around the outside. Scott Slade having a bit of a look. We have Gratian Punch moving up on the outside. Sandra Stoy's going to follow him through. They'll come around this time and get the call of 2 to go. Ben Clayton has started his hit out. Outside, but he had nowhere to go. Sandra Stoy got balked in there. See if she can build this back up, because Ben... Ebony gone. It'll be followed through by Ebony, Scott and Sandy Stoy into 4th place. Problem there. Oh, the program has 224s. That's all right. Well, that's Flynn Larkins at the back, and he was number 25 last night, so I assumed he'd be number 25 again today. Yes. Okay, so George Tucker's on the front. Templeman in there. Glenn Searle, and then followed through by Flynn Larkins.
It's supposed to be because of Wi-Fi.
Riding the moped around for them. She'll come around this time to get the call of 3 to go. The bike will come off. You'll see Glenn Searle wind that big gear of his up, and everyone else can just try and chase him. All the other riders just looking around. I'd say Glenn will wait till about 1.5 to go before he decides to wind that up. That'll be the other 3 riders are juniors, so they'll only have smaller gears. Now here I said that 1.5 to go, and Michael Templeman's winding it up for Glenn. And I'll come around this time. Larkin's trying to go around the outside, but that's not going to work because his little legs won't just spin fast enough. There goes Searle now, out of the saddle. No response from Templeman. He knows not much he can do about it. So Flynn Larkin's going to try and Glenn Searle got that big gear wound up. They weren't going to bring him back. Move on now, under 15 boys Omnium Championships for their tempo race.
We got a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's very, very hard to do. What's this one?
He's not in the program. Yeah, Tucker.
I love that photo with Nick, mate.
Yeah.
That's an absolute cracker.
So young George Tucker will be nice and warmed up. William Emilis just sitting up outside the top of him there. Bodie Dusha, look, they're riding, looks like they're out on a training ride there. They're all two abreast, one behind the other, having a chat. Saturday afternoon, we'll go for a cruisy one. Nothing much too interesting happening at the moment. Tucker will be glad for that. He's just finished a Keirin, which may be to his advantage. His legs will be nice and warm and blood will be pumping. Still. I'll get the
Yeah, it went over my head too. Because Jesus can turn water into wine, so he just ordered water.
Do I get the whistle or bell?
What time is this finish?
Now the rider's just coming around.
She never does.
Okay, the field's starting to spread out a little bit now. See what's going to happen. These riders, George Tucker still sitting there at the front. William Emilis just up outside of him. Bodie Dusha down on the bottom of the track. Around there, Oscar Schoff making his way around through as well. Emilis riding through now. The other riders are starting up through. Schoff is chasing him down. Well, some. There they are now. Tucker up around the outside. Okay, a bit of a change coming through there now. I'll come around this time. Bodie Douche is still sitting on his wheel now. Bodie's hit the front. William Ambulance is there. Schoff's coming up around the outside again. Ambulance out of the saddle. To take a bit of a flyer, see if anyone's going to chase him down. Josh Franks is out of the... Schoff. Eli Taylor's leading the rest of the group across to him. Eli Taylor swings up.
Oh, because you can't stand up. 2.
He's going to try and bring Schoff back. He's opened a bit of a gap up there. He's going to try and do it on his own. Down, he is gaining, but does he have enough track? It looks like it will. If he catches him by the time he gets to that mark there, he should be able to get up and around him if he's got enough legs left. But as I've always say, it's one thing to get to the whip. Once again, they've combined the under 15 and under 17 girls. Emily Sanders at the top of the track, Megan Moore at the bottom of the track, till the under 17 riders. Has had a bit of a hit out here, she's taken off. Megan Moore still holding it at the front there. Sienna Monteith there because we've got an under 17 and an... So those two swing up. Ava Carmen Robbins then goes through to take over the lead role. Ava and under, she goes up. Ava is under 15, so we've got a bit of a mix out there. In the first place, then followed through by Potts. Emily Sanders now hitting the front of the bunch, so that's the under-17 group, so there's still places for the under-15s back behind there.
The sound goes off. The commentary goes off.
So there goes the bell. Sanders still at the front. I think it's Potts trying to get... Victoria Smith in there today. Couldn't pick her without her pink socks. So Potts riding up around the outside. Remember, Isabel Potts is under 15. Emily Sanders and Victoria Smith are both under 17. So they get their own individual points. As you can see, if you look at the board there now, both riders awarded 1 point. See what happens this time through now. Emily Sanders once again. Chloe Buckley would have been the first under 15 through. Two of the under 17 girls here, Kiana Templeman and Matilda Pratt, rolled off the back a bit.
Armley Sanders.
Amelie, is it?
Armley.
Okay, they're rolling through this time around. Megan Moore at the front, followed through by Chloe Buckley. Sienna Monteith is second wheel. Ava Carmen Robbins is in there as well. They'll come over the line this time. Megan Moore. Sienna Monteith picking up the points there. Still 10 laps to travel. Ava Carmen's Robbins coming around the outside now, the lapped girls. Ava Carmen Robbins will go over the line, followed then by Eden Cunnington. Sienna Monteith still in there as well, so you've got two of the under-15 girls right up at the front of this group. Eden Cunnington's taking a bit of a head out, but she has no problems to Ava Carmen Robbins. It's a different age category. But Armley Sanders does have a problem with it. Okay, so that's Armley Sanders now taking a big lead in this event. She may want to stay out the whole way, see if Eden Cunnington can work in with Megan Moore and bring them back, because those are three under-17 girls. You've got two under-15s going hard to try and catch them, and they don't need to, but if they do, they've got the advantage of sitting on under-17s and riding away from the rest of the field. So Armley Sanders comes in the call to get 6 to go. Cunnington Moore trying to chase down. They're followed through by Chloe Buckley and Neve Parslow. They will get to the back of the under-17 girls there, so that leaves Sienna Monteith and Ava Robbins to try and bridge that gap up to those riders. So Armley Sanders now lapping the field. She's still way out in front on her own. So she'll come through this time and get the call of 5 to go. Remainder riders coming through here also catching this bunch. Neve Parslow at the front leading the under 17 girls through. So she swings up, hands over to Megan Moore, Eden Cunnington there. Chloe Buckley looks like she's run out of legs. Megan Moore now doing the chasing with Eden Cunnington. Neve Parslow still sitting in there with the under-15 girls. So remember, she's in a different category to the other two, but she'll be getting her own points. So Eden Cunnington and that little chase group leading it through. come around this time. Yes, final lap for Amelie Sanders going through. Just better watch out. The other girls are starting to bring it back a bit. Megan Moore's trying to chase it down, but she's got to get around 2 bike riders. I think Sanders, if here's coming, will give a little bit of a kick. So April Patty took that one out, but she's actually down a lap. So we'll just see how the scores work out from there for the 2 different categories. How'd you go? Yeah, I was about to say, you rode last night, didn't you? Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, so there's the points up there on the board there now. The under-17s. Emil Sanders takes out the points. Megan Moore comes through into 2nd place. Just missed 3rd. It changed again. There we go. Oops. No, gone again. Okay, now we're moving on to the under-17 boys tempo race for 20 laps. Yeah. Your Corey's racing today. And you can see he's got a good top end speed, he just can't accelerate, he can't pull back. Okay, we'll see how this goes with the under 17 boys. Should be some interesting racing in here. They roll through that time there. Keely Ketvitigas leads them through. A bit of trouble with that name. Henry Goodwill next in line. No one sort of really chasing too hard at the moment. Where is he? He'll probably be down there near where Ben and them are. See all the blokes in yellow? I can't see him from here, but he'll be there somewhere. Yeah, because there's Bryson. Actually, that might even be him over there on the rollers against the wall. Okay, there goes the bell. Got Kelly sitting right out in front there. See what the rest of the bunch is going to do. Not too much at all. They can't do much from back here. They're too far away. Too big a gap there. See what they're going to do. See if they'll get together here and go for a walk. So Keely's still holding a big gap on this bunch of riders. No one really wants to do any work there. Hughes just sitting on the front, rolling around. No one doing too much at all. Okay, Eliza Carnes decides she's going to have a bit of a hit out. Still a fair sort of a gap to bring back. A bit of an inroad there. Alex Hughes back on the front again. And brought the Keely back a little bit. But still maintaining the lead. Hughes doesn't seem overly enthused about chasing it all down. Okay, now Alex Hughes has got the bunch wound up. He's followed through then by Porter White. They split the field up a little bit here. Okay, Ryder's not happy with the pace that Porter White was putting on. So Toby Jones has decided he's going to go for it from there. Porter White swings up out of the road. Hands it over to Savage. He's had enough. He's up the road real quick. Lachlan Walters is going to try and bridge that gap. He's going through with Henry Goodwill's going to sit on his wheel. Alex Hughes swings up out of the road, gives a flick of the elbow. Didn't want to play the game. Keely, who was the leader earlier, soon will be caught. Toby Jones is still going for it. Henry Goodwill is chasing him down. And Lachlan Walters is going with him, so the two riders there. Now Hulich is trying to get across that gap. Douglas Savage on his wheel, and Mullins coming through for his turn. Jones still holding a bit of a gap there. The chase bunch has lost a bit of its impetus. Chris Mullins, quick turn, swings up. Alex Hughes just has a bit of a look. Toby Jones sitting through. No, Toby Jones up the front. Looks similar though. Here we go. Let's see what happens this time through. Yeah, Toby Jones passing a couple of the riders there. Lachlan Walters hits the front now. Sam Hilditch on his wheel. Douglas Savage coming through then. Henry Goodwill, Alex Hughes. Chris Mullins sitting down at the back of the field. Jones still holding a little bit of a lead at 4 to go. Henry Goodwill's out there trying to get across there now. Jones swings up. The other riders have come to him. Now let's see what happens now. They're still coming. They've got 3 to go. Jones drops in there now. Alex Hughes takes over the lead, followed through then by Ethan Lang sitting in there as well. Ethan Lang now hits the front of the bunch. And he's put a bit of a gap into these riders. Lang's had a bit of a hit out. Lachlan Walters wants to go again. Toby Jones has run out of legs. Sam Hilditch has decided that he's going to have a bit of a go at this and bridge the gap. Douglas Savage also wanting to be in there. Goodwill swings up from the second chasing group. So come through to get the bell this time. And it's Lachlan Walters who challenges Ethan Lang, but he hasn't got the legs to keep going with it. Sam Hilditch is coming around right around the outside now. He's going to challenge Ethan Lang for the finish as they come down to come over the line there now. Yeah, Sam Hilditch will take that out. Good ride from Sam coming through from the back like that. So we see how the judges saw all that. Ethan Lang did hold on for second place. So now we're on back onto our Keirin racing again. Event 31, round 2 of the Keirins. Okay, riders assembled over at the back. Getting ready. Louise Jones making her way over to the bike as we get these rounds underway. Riders make their way around now to get up into the fence. Ready for this event. Well, let's see this time. Well, Duncan Allen took it out last time. Let's see if Bryson Fletcher wants some redemption this time around. Okay, so there we go. The journey comes through. Tao Choi drops down onto the bike. Followed through then by Joseph Black. And then we have Duncan Allen, Bryson Fletcher. But we don't have a Mitchell Louis. We have a Wayne Godfrey. So nothing's changed there. Duncan Allen once again lets that little bit of a gap open up so he's got a space to run into if need to. Keirin racing can be very, very tactical. It has been softened up to what it used to be like in the old days. The bike now comes off at 750 metres to go. At one stage it used to be one lap on a 333, then it went to 500 metres, which is all right. It was still a sprinter's race, but now at 750 you have to ride it completely different. Back then it was an advantage to be on the bike. Oh, so Tao Choi decided to give Duncan Allen a little bit of a switch there. Bryson Fletcher's followed him through, didn't want it to go. Choice jumped straight onto the wheel of Fletcher because he knows where he wants to be. Joseph Black trying to move in there is good. So is Wayne Godfrey trying to get up there amongst it. They come around, they'll come this time to get the bell. So Duncan Allen's still at the front. Bryson Fletcher sitting in the back there. Let's see what happens now. Allen's out of the saddle and going. Bryson Fletcher goes with him. Tao Choi jumps on the wheel as well. Joseph Black trying to fight his way up there. He's not going to get there. Now they come around here. Duncan Allen still has the advantage. Bryson Fletcher's going to try and come down in the outside, but he's not going to make it. That'll be Duncan Allen, Bryson Fletcher, Tao Choi, Joseph Black, and a good ride by Wayne Godfrey in that field. Some pretty fast boys out there. Yes, back in the day when the motorbike only had only come off at one lap to go on a 333, it was a real sprinter's race, and you'd see the riders would fight to get to the bike. And by that I mean fight. Very sanitised now to what the games used to be played years ago. I've actually seen Denny Clark once grab a competitor by the shirt and pull him backwards. Grabbed him by his skin suit as he was riding past and said, "No, come back here." Now let's see who we've got lined up this time. It's Ella Lang, Sebastian Topping, Chris Mullins, Kerry Boddington and Ben Clayton. So no Molly McGill in that one. If you're looking at a program, we'll have had Molly McGill in there as a starter, but not there. So they come around this time. Ella Liang still sitting on the bike. Sebastian Topping, Chris Mullins, Corey Boddington, then followed up by Ben Clayton at the back of the field. This could be interesting. The bike will come off at 3 to go. See whether Bella decides to slow it down or have a head out. So as they come in this time with the call of 3 to go, the bike will swing off the track. Bella just has a quick glance over the shoulder. She decides to swing up. Sebastian Stopping swings up. That leaves Sandra Stoy at the lead. She goes up. Everybody goes up. Oh, that's the way. Now, once again, we've left Corey Boddington at the front, so what he'll do is he'll just slowly wind the pace up. Doesn't want to get to top end too quick because Ben Clayton's sitting on his wheel. Ben's got a bit of a kick. Ben gives himself a bit of a room to go around. Sandra Stoy has moved up the inside to try and get as close as he can to those wheels up in front. Ben Clayton gets a go. Boddington can't kick like that, but he's got a good top end. Bella drops in onto his wheel. Sandra Stoy in there as well. And now you see Boddington get that gear wound up. And as I said, he's got a great top end speed. He's going to challenge Ben as he comes down into the straight there now. And Boddington will take that out. Then Ben Clayton, Ella Liang, Sandra Stoy, and then we have Sebastian Topping and bringing it home. Okay, moving on to Heat 3 now. We've got a few different riders here to what's in the program. We have Josh Rayner on the front. Glenn Searle, next rider. I can see Scott Slade in there. Peter Macris.
Want some chips?
Huh?
Want some chips, like potato chips?
No, I'm right, thanks, at the moment. Thank you very much, though. Okay, Josh Rayner leads them off. Then we've got Glenn Searle moving in there next. Peter Macris, Scott Slade. Ebony's in there as well. So we've got a bit of a mix there. I don't know where all these riders are coming from, but we'll work with that. No Christopher Lang, no George Tucker in this one. Pity for George Tucker, he's been in everything else. So there we go. Rayner leads them through, followed by Searle. Got Mitchell Louis just sitting there at the back of the field. So even if you look up at the board, you'll find that the that's not right up there. Jared O'Connell's not out there. That's Glenn Searle in saddlecloth 57, if anyone's taking note. Mate Jared's at home with a bung knee, or knee bung. Something bung anyhow. Okay, they'll come around this time, and round they get the call of 3 to go, and the motorbike will drop off. Rayner's sitting at the front, Glenn Searle on his wheel. Peter Macris coming up around the outside. We've still got Ebony sitting down the bottom. Mitchell Louis sitting at the back of the field, making his way around there now. Coming through there now. Macris has made his way right around the outside. Searle will follow that wheel through. And Macris is going hard down there now. Glenn Searle's trying to go with him. Rayner swung up in there and he's got the wheel of Macris. Mitchell Louis in his junior gears spinning down around the outside. All 6 riders still very, very close. They'll come through this time now to get the bell. So still 250 to travel. Macris can't keep it going. Rayner goes around the outside. Searle's still going with him. Mitchell Louis on his junior gears still staying there with that. Ebony is coming around as well, as is Scott Slade. They'll come down that across the finish line. You see what's going to happen here. And Josh Rayner will just hang on to take that out. Followed through then by Glenn Searle and Mitchell Louis getting in there for 3rd place. So you can see, if you happen to be watching it on live stream, you can see Mitchell Louis' legs spinning quite well. Oh, look, there's flying chips everywhere. Okay, it'll be interesting to see who we've got in this this heat. It's just we just never know. Okay, so Flynn Larkins, Michael Templeman, Taman Choi, Sandra Stoy, Gratian Punch. Yes, so they're all there. Motorbike's making its way around the track now. So Flynn Larkin quickly off the fence. Motorbike hasn't caught up to him yet. There we go. Now we'll drop down onto the bike. No roller these days. We used to have fun in the old days when you had the rollers on the back of the bike. You'd go up and be hitting the roller, and that sort of pleased the crowd when they hit it. Zzz. Can't do that anymore. Remember on the outdoor velodrome, the state championships, I used to do the ride the motorbike and do the commentary. You go and figure that out. So Flynn Larkin still sitting there behind the bike. Templeman sitting in there. Choi, Stoy. Choi, Stoy, Punch. Yes, goes down well. Motorbike picking up a little bit of pace now. Gratian Punch sitting at the back of the bunch, all the way up here from Byron Bay. He's in the Byron Bay Club. Not a bad little spot down there. I've got a sister living there. So they'll come through this time. The Templeman sitting at the front. Sandra Stoy keeping an eye on him. Flynn Larkin's watching what's happening all the way around. Got himself onto a good wheel there now. Gratian Punch coming up around the outside. They'll have to keep an eye on him. Taman Choi on the bottom down there, still in the sprinters lane. They'll come through to get the bell this time, and you'll see Sandra Stoy out of the saddle. Templeman out of the saddle. Gratian Punch trying to go there, but Sandra is riding away from these guys. So Templeman kicking again, trying to bring that wheel back. He's not going to get there, but he's trying to improve himself now and get into 2nd place. They'll come down over the line, and it will be taken out by Sandra Stoy, followed through by Michael Templeman and Taman Choi. Come through underneath there in a nice ride to pick up 3rd place. That was good to see. Okay, so that brings to the end of our round 2 of the Keirins. We'll now move on to a mystery points race. 20 laps. Okay, so it looks like a very, very limited field here. Got Matthew Wynn sitting on the front. Alexander Gilfelder. Riders over the back. So I see we've got Peter Spencer on this side of the track. So not too sure what's happening this event. It looks like a hares and hounds, but here it says handicap mystery points. Mystery points every lap, so looks like we've got a more like a hare and a hound thing happening, but it is 20 laps. So that's Anthony Johnson, just let him through there now. Peter Spencer takes over the running of that front three groups. Matthew Wynn in there. Riders chasing at the back here. We've got Jarlath Whittaker, Noah Blennon. Nicholas Bank Watson's in there also doing the chase. Bernard Swart. Bernard Swart sitting in there. They're still doing a chase. Alexander Gilfelder swings up. This back group is slowly catching. So we've got points going up on the board. A lot of them going to Alexander Gilfelder, the junior rider in the front group. Anthony Johnson also picking up a lot of points out there. Okay, so now we've got the back group catching the front group. Peter Spencer's put a bit of a kick in. Noel Blannon's dropped straight onto his wheel, followed by Banks Watson, Bernard Swart at the back of the group. I'm sorry, the remaining four. Bit of a gap happening there in the bunch. You don't need that at this stage of the race. Watson goes through and takes out some points there. We just don't know how many. So Peter Spencer doing a bit of a chase here to try and get back on. He swings up. Hands the reins over to Blennon, who's going to try and get back up here. He was going quite hard earlier. So there we have Banks Watson has a bit of a head out down the back straight. Bernard Swart's going to follow him around and go through as well. He's still got the call of 8 to go. Jarlath Whittaker digs deep. He's trying to get back onto those wheels. Looks like Blennon's working very hard. Spencer sitting on his wheel as they're trying to follow their way back up to these front three riders. Matthew Wynn swings up to the top of the track. He said, thank you very much. That's enough for me. They go through now. Whittaker leads them through. Bank Watson on his wheel. Bernard Swart coming through there for a turn. So now the other two riders, Noel Blennon and Peter Spencer, have made their way back up to those front group. Gives us 5 riders out in the front. They come through this time. Banks Watson rolled over the line. Then he swings up to the top. Swart goes to the top. Jarlath Whittaker's left sitting on the front. Noel Blennon on his wheel. Peter Spencer still in there. They come around this time and get the call of 5 to go. Jarlath Whittaker had a little bit of a gap, but not enough to do anything with. Noel Blennon goes back to the front. Peter Spencer goes through on his wheel. Banks Watson's had a few big digs, so his looks like his legs are spent. Bernard Swart's now got to try and close that gap to those front two riders. Blennon has a quick look over the shoulder, hands the reins over to Spencer. Swart still trying to go. He thinks he might have a chance of getting across there as they come around to get the call of 4 to go this time through. So Blenheim still riding quite comfortably there at the front. Bernard Swartz sitting on his wheel. Peter Spencer is hanging in there with them. Front group may even get caught here. So there we go. Blenheim swings up, hands it over to Swartz. Straight up, hands it over to Spencer. So looks like Blenheim spent all his pennies. Not much there. So and Peter Spencer's putting a bit of a gap on Swart. Bernard Swartz closing that now. He's going to have a bit of a dig. Bernard Swartz rolls past Peter Spencer in the back straight. Spencer doesn't have anything left. He had to do a chase earlier on, so they'll roll over the line here. And that's it. Bernard Swartz will take that one out. Peter Spencer rolls over the line. And see how we go with the overall points at the end of the game. Just waiting for the scores to come up on the scoreboard. And if that's correct, Alexander Gilfender on 43 points. Peter Spencer on 38. Two riders on 38. I think it just goes through that a bit quick. Jarlath Whittaker on 33. Banks Watson 29. Yes. So there we go. Now here's another, just like the other, only this one's 15 laps. We don't know who's in the placings until the final score goes up on the board, which is the idea. Okay, just see how many starters we have for this next event. We're at event 33 on today's card. We have 4 riders over the back and 5 riders the front. Sharon McGuigan leaves them out, followed through by Godfrey, then Pratt. Tim Matthews sitting on the back of that group. Now Jay Dorburn better not peel his other riders apart. Crossman's there with him. Ray Smith is in there as well. So as it appears, there is points, unknown points on each lap, but the back group have to catch the front group before they're able to accumulate any points, I would say. So if they're going to do that, Dorburn better do about 3 to 1 with everybody else. Because if he could probably bridge that gap on his own if he wanted to, but he could give himself a bit of a gap. As you can see, they're catching this group much faster than the previous one did. So they'll be on the back of this group now within this lap. Sharon McGuigan leads them over the line. Wayne Godfrey going through then. Dorburn got the bunch up there. He swings up. He'll go to the back and have a bit of a breather. Now you've got a rider flying through the field there now, wanting to go through and take some points. Sharon McGuigan's had enough. She's rolled through to the back. That's Kyle Willis. He likes to do this to get out in front and maintain a good sort of a lead. He's doing it earlier, so he'll probably be able to do this again. He's only got the call of 9 to go this time around. They're led through then by Pratt will lead them through. Wayne Godfrey coming through there as well. Sean Crossman bring him up. Tim Matthews still in there. Raymond Smith still there. Jay Dorboom hasn't done much since bringing the bunch across that gap. How'd you go? What's the matter? Oh. What are they sitting? I thought you'd be above the start finish line. Okay, here we go away again. So Willis is still away. He's actually opened up a bit more of a gap on this group. Andrew Pratt sitting at the front there, trying to chase him down. So and Kyle's got himself just over 50 points out there so far. So that might be a bit hard to bring back unless there's some big points on offer. And Dorboom hasn't done much at all just yet. Raymond Smith leads him through that turn. Dorboom may have worked a bit hard trying to, when he brought that group across on his own. So Wayne Godfrey's still sitting there in second wheel. Did you find the chocolate? Oh yeah, that'll do. Hot cross one will be fine. Okay, so now Dorboom's hit the front. They've still got, I think, got 3 laps to go, but Dorboom's going to try and do this on his own, and he's left his run too late. Remember, there's only the front rider that gains points in these type of events. So with 3 laps left to go, he's got 76 points. Andrew Crossman's got a couple. There's only 3 riders with points so far. So 3 laps to go. There's Willis, gets another 7 points for that one. And the other riders are all out there riding for fitness. So Willis comes through. And he will gain another 6 points there. Okay, he comes through to get the bell. He's still there. He's Dorboom's going to, even at this late stage, Jay's, no, he's not. I thought he might have been trying to kick hard home, but looking at that, I don't think so. So, looks like there's only 2 riders up there with points so far. So Willis will go through and take that out. What a very good win by the young rider. Andrew Pratt has 5 points. So, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So moving on now to the under 15 boys Omnium Championships elimination event. This is the under 15 boys Omnium Championships. It's the elimination part of the Omnium. Does that mean anything to you? Omnium is a series of events and you accumulate points as you go through. So this is the elimination of points race. So 4 or 5 events are okay, let's profit.
The back. No, elimination is the one at the back.
Right at the back goes off in the elimination.
Okay, cool. After the bell.
Usually.
So I'm just going to be on mute and watch the other one closest. Oh no, only got to 100.
Okay, the riders roll away now. William Emil is keen to get to the front.
Yeah. I let him roll back once the bell rings. And I think I don't know if it's every lap or every other lap. When they ring the bell.
Here comes Tucker up around the outside. Doesn't want to get caught too close to the back. So there goes the whistle. The event has started. These boys will all be jostling for positions now. Remember, it's the devil take the hindmost, as this event often referred to, which means the rider at the back is the one that goes out. So they'll get the bell here, so a rider will come out next time around. They don't want to be caught at the back. And I think you'll find Bodie Dusha, who's at the back now, will soon find his way around to the front. And even as I speak, there he goes. He's following riders through. Now George Tucker, who was at the front a moment ago, looks like a little bit of trouble. He has a quick look around to see where he is and just drops the head. He's got nowhere to go. Yep, pick me, I'm out. He's not in the program. This program's all over the shop. His rider's not in it, the rider's out of it. Who was this one? He was one of the Keirins I run with. 3 riders weren't even in it. Okay, well, Bodie's back at the back again. Now, if he keeps trying to sprint through from the back all the time, he'll soon run out of legs. It's hard work to do. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do. Here they come through this time to see who it is. See, this is a bad place to get caught. No, a bit late there. So that's Oliver Jordan will be out this time around. Dusha back at the back again. Now come through this to get the bell this time. So Oscar Schoff just quiet, happy, sitting there at the front. At the front, of course, you're just riding the one tempo. You're not accelerating up and down, so it's not as hard on your legs as these riders at the back who are trying to sprint over to the forward every time, as you can see it now. Bodie Dusha trying to sprint through to make sure he stays in the race. But unfortunately for Harrison Dowling, he had nowhere to go down at the bottom as the other riders come around. So if you're at the bottom and you're coming around that final turn 4, it's a good idea just to drift up half a wheel length and make sure you've got somewhere to go. They come in to get the bell again for another sprint. Emilis and Schoff sitting at the front, shoulder to shoulder. At the back at the moment is Josh Franks is sitting there, caught in a bad position. He'll go around the outside. Now, Bodie Dusha is in trouble now. He's at the bottom of the track, and unless the rider in front of him accelerates, he's got nowhere to go. And that is just what has happened. He had nowhere to go. You may have had the legs, but you've got to have somewhere to ride him into. So Emilis and Schoff still sitting right at the front. Oscar Schoff up on the top of the track. William Emilis sitting down in the sprinters lane. They're still staying shoulder to shoulder. Eli Taylor at the back having a look to see what he can do. Josh Franks keeping an eye on him. Emilis is down the bottom. You'll have to keep an eye on it. Taylor's having a bit of a kick. Franks saw this happen, accelerated into the gap and took it away. So we'll see what they come up to the line this time. And yes, Eli Taylor is out, so we've got 3 riders left. William Emilis on the bottom of the track. Oscar Schoff up above him and Josh Franks rolling through. Remember, Schoff and Emilis have been on the front since the start of this event. Franks may have slightly fresher legs, we'll see. So Schoff leading through. Joseph Franks dropping in on his wheel. Now Emilis has got to do something here, and that's just it. So now let's see what Josh Franks can do to see if he can come back over. No, he's had enough. So we have the 2 riders left. Now these 2 riders, they were at the front through nearly all of the event. So Josh Franks go down. It looks like Oscar Schoff may have a little bit more left. He's trying to hit it out from a lap and a half to go. Now remember, Emilis has got the good ride here, just sitting on the wheel. See if it gives him enough recovery to do anything. Schoff out of the saddle, so here comes Emilis now, out of the saddle, a bit of a kick. He's got halfway around. Let's see what much more he can do. It's going to be a good sprint to the line for these guys, and William Emilis comes through to take that out from Oscar Schoff. A very good ride from both boys. Just remember, you could be looking at future world champions here at these junior titles being run here today. Never know where it may lead to, so give them all the encouragement you can. Really up in there, you've lost my place. Yeah. They should never. Why they do that? Just trying to save money. What do you see, mate? 2 under 17 girls got away with an under 15 in with them. Of course, she didn't sit on the under 17 girls. The other 2 under 15 girls were trying to chase them in the bag. But she's getting all the points, and she was it's just not fair. And the other under 17 girls ain't going to chase. I've seen it happen in road races, seen it happen everywhere. I just don't go in for it. Not in the championship event especially. Okay, once again we've got a combined elimination, which is going to be a really fun thing because you've got under 15s, under 17s, and how they're going to work it out. Are they going to put a... Yeah, there's Chris Lang. I didn't see he's here, but he didn't ride in that last event that his name was in for. I may have been working this morning. So here we go. So how they're going to work this out, I don't know. Very unfortunate for some of the riders when they have these things combined, as you saw in the one earlier on. One of the under 15 girls got away with 2 of the under 17s, so all she had to do was sit there, and the other under 15s had to try and chase, and well, that didn't work real well. So to see is whether they just take the one rider out, or we're taking an under 15 and an under 17 out. It's going to be hard to pick whoever wants to do that. I'd say there's just one rider out each lap. Now they're coming around now. We'll just see who it is at the back. It's Grace Hunter, the rider at the back. So that's the rider to come out on that one. So we've got some of our under 15. Emily Sanders now hits the front. She's going around out there, making sure she's up the front. Eden Cunningham's up there in a good spot. A bit high, but nice and forward of the bunch. A few riders look like they're getting caught out of the back here now. Emily Sanders still leading them on through. We'll see how that goes. It should be Matilda Pratt, yes. Matilda Pratt down the bottom. That time only just in front of Kiana Templeton. Half a tyre in it. Not half a wheel, half a tyre. Kiana Templeton will have to do something this time, which she's trying to make her way forward. She's riding at the back. She knows she has to improve her position, but she just doesn't know where she's going to go to do it. And then the middle of the back of the bunch is not the place you'll get through. Unless you're an under 17 boy, then you will. Okay, there we are. That's the end of Kiana's race this afternoon. Just that one. She'll have another one. I'll come around this time to get the bell again. So riders out every second lap. So April Paddy there near the back, but what you've got to watch out for is the they're all moving up. There was a rider down the bottom, looked like they're in a bit of trouble, but as you can see, they've all moved around very quickly. So still Paddy at the back. Quick look over the shoulder. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a surprise there. That's Victoria Smith. She's out that time. She was in a bad spot here. She still was in a bad spot when they come around. Down the bottom with nowhere to go. Been there, done that. Come through again to get the bell. So we've got April Paddy again at the back. She was fortunate last time. She's going to move her way up. That could put Eden Cunnington in a spot of bother. Ava Carmen Robbins is up there as well. They're at the back of this bunch. So Ava Paddy can come around the outside quickly. And that's how quickly it happens. It was Isabella Potts down the bottom. So sometimes it's just not that much of a good spot to be in down the bottom. Okay, now we're getting down to the pointy end. We'll see the riders starting to pick up. Still some under 15s in there amongst the under 17 girls. And some of the under 17s out also. So Megan Moore still sitting there at the front, leading them around. Amelie Sanders sitting in there on her wheel also. Eden Cunnington sitting in there. Sienna Monteith moving through now. Ava Carmen Robbins coming around the front. So remember, Sienna and Ava are both in under 15s. Good idea to know what's happening behind you as well, because they have a quick look. They'll see that there's a rider off the back, so I'm not too sure where their judging is these days. So, whoa, there we go. That's Eden Cunnington. Looks like she may have clipped a wheel. So we get, and she's up on her feet. So they come around this time. They won't take a rider out in that lap. The yellow flag was out. Tony Tor just yes, Eden's tough. There's Zane going across to check it out now. See that she's all right. You'll check the bike out. Then at some stage you'll probably ask Eden how she's going. Hello, they may allow her a couple of laps out by the look of it. Yep, still holding the yellow flag out, so technically she's got 3 laps. I'm not too sure on this track with 3 or 4, might be 4 laps to get back in. Yes, there wasn't not a lot of pace involved at the time when they come down, just a slight touch of wheels, and that always happens, and that's one of the things about eliminations you have to be aware of, because you've got bikes moving forward. There she is. She's back up on, she'll be back in. And what happens in some of these eliminations when you go over the finish line is the front riders will go over and they'll back off because they're already there, and the back riders are accelerating. So the yellow flag's still out. We'll see what happens. They'll wait till the main bunch catches up with Eden. Now they're all bunched up again. They'll come back over the start-finish this line this time, and the starter will give them a whistle again to let them know that the race will continue. So there they go. They'll continue on with the race now. And straight away, Chloe Buckley went straight to the front. She's I'm getting up here. Emil Sanders sitting down the bottom of the track. So they'll come around this time and get the bell. So Sanders and Moore sitting at the front. Sienna Monteith down at the bottom of the track. Cunnington still in there now. So Ava Robbins not in a very good place at the moment. Let's see what happens. No, it's going to be Eden. She was out that time. She can see her name out on the board. So we've still got a bit of a mixture of under 17s and under 15s in here at the moment. Megan Moore at the front of the bunch is under 17. Emily Sanders is under 17. Sienna Monteith is under 15. Chloe Buckley is under 15. So let's see how they go out there now. Ava Carmen Robbins is under 15. So only one of the 15s that come out of the... Ava Carmen Robbins looks like she's in trouble, but she'll get through. That'll be Neve Parslow will come out that time. So it's interesting to see that some of these under 15 girls are still hanging in there. So out of the remaining 5 riders, you've got 3 under 15s in there, which is good to see. Sienna Monteith goes around to the front now. Megan Moore on the bottom of the track. Emily Sanders just above her, and they're going to come through this time. Ava Carmen Robbins has got a lot of work to do. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a surprise. Emily Sanders is out.
Wow.
So just got caught in a bad spot. But that means that she will be second in the under 17s. So you've got Megan Moore, the only remainder under 17 there. And the other 3 girls are all in the under 15 age group. So Megan Moore doesn't have to do anything. She's won her age group. She doesn't have to compete if she doesn't want to. I don't think. I could be wrong too. Carmen Robbins this time in a little bit of trouble down at the bottom. Let's see what she can do. I don't think she's got anywhere to go. And no, she doesn't. So Megan Moore still leading them around. She swings up. Sienna Monteith from the Townsville Cycling Club. Chloe Buckley sees something and she's going to quickly get onto the wheel. They come through to get the bell. Sienna Monteith is leading them around. Chloe Buckley up on the outside of her. Megan Moore just sitting there following the wheel around. If she knows what's happening, she knows that it does say here they've got medals for each age group, so she has won her age group. So she goes out. That leaves the two under 15s to battle it out for their medal in their age groups. So Chloe Buckley has gone to the front. Sienna Monteith is on her wheel. Body language says they're very, very tired. They'll get a bell now. So let's see, has Monteith saved anything? Buckley out of the saddle to go for it. Monteith quickly kicks to try and stay on the wheel. The head goes down. She says, come on, legs. Come on, legs. Get up and go. And the legs say, shut up. I've had enough. No, Monteith may not have enough to fight back. This could be a great outcome for Chloe Buckley. Just see what happens now. And that's it. And Chloe Buckley holds on to take that event out. And Sienna Monteith comes in there for second place. We now move on to event 36 in our program, the Under 17 Boys Omnium Championships. I like it how. Boys, girls. Boys, girls. That's not doing men and women. And I'm sure Bernard or Bahrain, his name's in Bahrain, I'm sure it's Bernard. Not he was on the page. Okay, under 17 boys now making their way up to the mark. Toby Jones taking up down the bottom of the track there. Sam Hulich is sitting on his wheel. Lachlan Walters one further back. Alex Hughes sitting up the top of the fence there. haven't had a chance to eat one. You feel back further? Okay, there goes the whistle. And away they go. And I see Liza Carnes is in with this group as well. So that's Eliza and Keely both riding in there. So a lot of times it's not about how slow or fast you are. It's about the position you're in on the track as to how well you go. And as you can see there, you've got Lachlan Walters at the back down the bottom. And if he's got nowhere to go, he'll be in all sorts of trouble as the riders roll around the top. You've got to make sure you've got somewhere to go. They'll go through this time, and as they go over the line, you find it's Keely at the back. Didn't quite make it. Although Lachlan Walters didn't have it by much. Okay, they come through to get the bell again this time around, and Mitchell Louie's gone to the front. He's going to stay there. Hilditch is on his wheel. Sebastian Topping coming right around the outside. Alex Hughes holding him up there. They're making sure they're at the front. Carnes is at the back. She's not in a very good position at the moment. He accelerates through and not quite make it. So you had Goodfellow down the bottom of the track. Goodwill, sorry. He's fought his way through now. Sebastian Topping's found himself back at the back of the bunch. They come through to get the bell. Plenty of time to move up. Mitchell Louie still just sitting on the front of this bunch. Alex Hughes back near the back as well. Sebastian Topping going around the outside. Now, Goodwill finds himself in a bad position there. He's at the bottom. Everyone went round. Now he's got to sprint to try and make it back around to the front or to the top. And he does. Oh, there we go. That'll be Ethan Lang will be out on that one. Okay, pressure's gone on a bit there now. Henry Goodwill had a couple of close calls, so he said, I'm just going to go to the front. Sam Hilditch moves up with him. Toby Jones is up near the front now as well. Alex Hughes is starting to look around. So Goodwill still holding it out the front. Hilditch puts himself up in a good spot. He's got room to move if he needs it, and that's what you need to do in these things. Looks like Sebastian... No, it's going to be Mitchell Louie at the back of the bunch. Oh, thanks. Okay, there goes the bell again. So Sebastian Topping trying to get around over the top of Alex Hughes. Alex Hughes see this coming. He gives a bit of a kick. Topping is still at the back of the field, so see what happens as they come around out of the transition. If he can make it way forward, he drops down to the bottom to try and find a way through. All the doors are closed. So he goes out that time. Douglas Savage I was calling Sebastian Topping, but it's not. Sorry. Just going by the colours. Can't see the numbers. Get the bell again this time. Alex Hughes sitting at the back. Lachlan Walters just down the bottom of the track, not in a very good position. So he's going to be right down at the bottom of the track. As they come through this time, Alex Hughes kicks. And it'll be Lachlan Walters this time, but Henry Goodwill also finds himself in a spot he doesn't really want to be in. Alex Hughes still sitting at the back of the front. Sam Hilditch sitting at the front. Good place for Sam to be, considering he likes to play sprint games. So there we come around. Porter White still in there. Hughes at the back of the bunch now. Henry Goodwill in a bad position on the bottom. He's trying to move his way forward. But as I said, if there's riders there, he's got nowhere to go. Hughes makes it around. Yes, and Goodwill will pay the consequences for that ride now. Finish Toby Jones, front. So the remaining 4 riders now all looking at each other, swinging up the top of the track. Become a bit of a mind game now. They get the bell. Toby Jones sitting at the front, Porter White on his wheel. Sam Hilditch has dropped into a good spot there. Alex Hughes still on the outside. These boys have got a full-on sprint happening here as they're coming around into the home straight for this. We see Toby Jones going to lead them through, and it's going to be Porter White. So number 23, Porter White, out that time around. So Toby Jones gives a bit of a kick. Alex Hughes goes up on in second wheel. Sam Hilditch is following that through. So let's see, Toby Jones might be the one to suffer here because these two boys may both go. No, it's going to be, it's going to be Sam. Sam didn't quite have the legs that time around. So this will leave it between Jones and Hughes to see who can take this one out. What's this sound like out there? Yeah. Okay, they get the bell that time around. Toby Jones is leading it out to see if Alex Hughes can get to his wheel. No. Jones held on to take that one out. Alex Hughes in second place. Now we move on to our Masters Madison Championships. Unfortunately, only 3 teams for this. Madison's are great to watch. 3 teams isn't too bad, but when you start getting 8 and 10 teams out there and you've got to judge it, it's not much fun. So we'll see how this goes. We have Robbie Reid, Bernard Swart, representing the University Cycling Club. We have team number 2, Anthony Johnson, Nicholas Banks Watson, 1 Uni Club, 1 Balmoral, and then we have Christopher Lang and Peter Spencer, both representing the Gold Coast Cycling Club. Pardon?
What is this race?
It's a Madison. That's one they have the hand slings.
Yeah, but I didn't even realise they had a Madison. What they got a Madison on them? How many laps is this?
80.
An 80 lap Madison?
Yeah, 3 riders, 3 teams.
For 3 teams. Wow. That's, oh well. Hopefully get into another course.
I don't know that. Well, they might do the full. Yeah, they've got 80 on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So that's an endurance event. Okay, so now we're starting with the Madison.
Okay. Right, you're on the front.
So it looks like, not too sure of the numbers, looks like Robbie Reid, Nicholas Banks Watson and Chris Lang are the first riders on the track. So up the top on the other side, we'll have Bernard Swart. Yes, he's there at the back. Peter Spencer. And Anthony Johnson, yes. Unfortunately, with a small field like this, you won't get the benefit of how interesting this race can be. It is very tactical, and there's lots of different ways of running this kind of event. I have seen ways where they've had 2 enduro riders in. I've seen the times when they've had an enduro rider and a pure sprinter. Watching the McGee brothers do one down in Inverell one night was very interesting, especially when they changed the rules about the changeovers. Those boys knew how to do a brilliant changeover and just throw their rider in for the last 200 to gain the sprints. As you can see, the riders are giving hand slings, what's referred to as a hand sling, because they haven't got a pocket in the back in which to stitch a cricket ball into. And used to grab from the shirt. Inexperienced riders who aren't too sure with this, because you can just do a tag, as long as you tag your partner. You've got to be quite precise about where you are doing your hand sling. If you're too far away from the other rider, you can come down. I've seen that happen as well. The Queensland Championships once held up in Rockhampton. 2 brothers who were very good Madison riders actually brought each other down. It was a bit of a disaster for them. So whilst there's not much happening at the moment, as you watch this event go on, there will be sprints. And the riders will sprint for points. Here we go. Chris Lang's Peter Spencer make a changeover. Oh, Peter Spencer's going to have a bit of a hit out there. He must think he's going to get through to it. Bernard Swart has a quick look around. He swings up. Taken over there by Banks Watson. No, Banks Watson's up on the track, so they've got to watch out here, guys. There he goes. There goes the whistle for the bell for the first sprint. Okay, Swart and Reid missed a changeover, but Banks Watson is really bringing back Peter Spencer. Let's see if Peter Spencer can... No. Banks Watson goes through to take out the first lot of points. So Watson and Johnson just made their changeover. So you have Johnson and Lang. Bernard Swart right off the back at the moment. So unless the 2 riders at the front slow up, it's going to be a lonely 68 laps to go for Bernard and Robbie. Look, Robbie's going to try and do the chase to get back onto terms with these front riders. Robbie's recently come back to track racing from kart racing. He was doing a bit of racing with karts where you just had to put your foot down and it went quicker. Different kind of pedals altogether. So he's bridged that gap across. So Bank Watson in there now. So you've got Bank Watson, Robbie Reid and Peter Spencer out there. So Banks, Watson and Johnson on 5 points. Lang and Spencer on 3 points. Reed and Swart on 2 points.
I didn't think we did see that job for the New Zealand national.
And Chris Lang just leading around now and looking to do a changeover with Peter Spencer. The other riders will swing high because they always try and make it as safe as possible for each other. There we go. Peter Spencer going now. Oh, they're leaving the changes a bit late. No, that's not going to work for Banks Watson that time. So C is going to... No, it'll go over. Peter Spencer will take the points on that one. Then Swart and then Banks Watson. A bit of a confusion over there in the back, but all safe. That's the main thing. These riders do... They do want to win, but they do want to stay safe as well. No one wants to be carted off to hospital. So it looks like for Team 2, Peter Spencer is the nominated sprinter. Team 1, it's Banks Watson. And Team 3, it's Bernard Swart. Not much pace on out here at the moment. Bernard Swart going through to the front. Banks Watson goes up into his wheel. And Pete Spencer coming through. Swart swings up to the top. Unfortunately not very exciting with only 3 groups, or 3 teams. Where these things become interesting is when you got, like I said before, 10 or 12 teams there. Then they start lapping the field. And you've got to try and keep track of them all. The race itself, the Madison, was something that was concocted in the USA years ago, and they wanted something exciting and interesting, and then it was done at Madison Square Garden. Hence the name, the Madison. Okay, so Bernard will have to quickly jump back up on here. So we've had a bit of a change over here. So we're coming in for a sprint, and we've got Chris Lang out there instead of Peter Spencer. So can Nick go around? Yes, he can. Bernard Swart's going to follow. Lang hasn't quite got the legs to go with them. He may be able to sit there and stay there, but let's see what happens with Swart and Nick. Nick has a quick look over the shoulder. No, I've got the points. I'm right. So that should, I would say, yes, Johnson and Banks Watson into the lead. Lang and Spencer next up. And Reed and Swart holding down third place. Won't be a lot of pace on that there. These blokes have still got 48 laps to go. So we've got Robbie Reed leading him through out there. And also Johnson and Banks Watson are doing a quick changeover. As is Reed and Swart. Oh no, this is the Johnson Banks Watson changeover. The other one was Lang and Spencer. So once you got Chris Lang in with the two sprinters. Now Chris isn't a bad sprinter himself. They all swing up, play little games. Bernard Swart drops down to the bottom of the track, then swings back up. Banks Watson comes through. We're all just watching what's going to happen. Spencer's getting ready for another changeover, swinging up the high on the track. So Spencer gets thrown into that group there now. Watson and Johnson just about to make a changeover as well. As is Swart and Reed. So Spencer throwing in Chris Lang. Come around to get the bell. So Johnson jumps out of the saddle to go around. I thought they were going to try and do a change. They're not. So Johnson will hold on to take these points. And the other two missed out in the sprint. Robbie Reed got second place on that one. Just slightly pipped Chris Lang. So I think a couple of the teams were going to change, judging by the actions of the other riders, but didn't come to any sort of fruition. So Pete Spencer coming in, bridging that gap very quickly across to Robbie Reed. He's going to go past him, see what Johnson's going to do. He'll throw in Watson. So Banks Watson quickly closes that gap down through to Pete Spencer. Don't want to let Spencer get too far away. So Bernard goes quite right around the outside, puts another gap in there. So Bank Watson's decided he'll follow that one through as well. So Lang and Spencer there looking for a changeover. Remember, this started out as an 80-lap event. They're just over the halfway. Long way for three riders to go. That's 20 kilometres. All three riders just rolling around together. Okay, so there goes Banks Watson in now. Robbie Reed's in. Lang is just throwing Peter Spencer in. And they get the bell. Spencer's gone for the sprint. Let's see what the other two riders can do. Banks Watson's going to try and bridge that gap. Nick's coming quick at him down at the back straight. He swings around past Peter Spencer. They come around out of turn 4 into the transition. Peter Spencer takes a second place in that one. Nick Banks Watson, comfortable lead on that one. And Robbie Reed rolled across the line for third place. Now you'll see Banks Watson and Johnson are doing a changeover straight away. All right, it's changed over now and out there. No, but Spencer's still out there. He hasn't changed over yet with Chris. Okay, Swart just handed over to Robbie Reed. Chris Lang up to his wheel. Nick Bank Watson having to quickly close a bit of a gap down there. Can't leave Robbie doing too much at the front. He's actually a pursuer, so he knows how to sit on the front and hammer and hurt. And let's see what happens. Watson's gone to the front. Johnson coming in. Spencer coming in. Now Swart coming in. Bernard Swart having a bit of an attack here, knowing he's going to get the bell this time around. Watson wants to go back in though. Nick Banks Watson. He's put the signal out. Get me in. He's not going to bridge that gap now, but I think he's quite content now. Just take up second place to get some points. Spencer and Lang will also do a changeover. Riders come around this time to get the call of 19 to go. There's Robbie Reed's taking a bit of a flyer. Banks Watson's chasing him down. Lang's dropped off the back. He can't maintain the pace. Now, quick change over here. Johnson gets thrown in. Now, he's going to try and bridge that gap quite quickly to Robbie Reed. Otherwise, he won't be able to do it. There he goes. Johnson's got there. Reed swings straight up. Johnson goes up. There's no need for him to go to the front. Just needs to be there with him. And that's just what he's going to do. He's not going to take over the lead and do the work. He did the chase. Reed about to hand over to Swart. And Spencer's about half a lap down now. So there we had Swart and Johnson. Now Johnson throws in Nick Banks-Watson. He should be able to maintain this. So Swart goes up, Nick goes through to the front. They just about have Pete Spencer in the same straight. There's no need to catch him. So Swart hands over to Reed. Banks-Watson will hand over to Johnson. Reed did have a bit of a head out there, but Johnson was straight onto his wheel. So you've still got Robbie Reed and Anthony Johnson out there. Peter Spencer and Chris Lang are just cruising around. So there goes the bell. So Swart's coming in and Watson's coming in on the changeover. Watson, that looks to have the greater acceleration. Oh, Swart drifted up out of his lane there a bit, but Banks-Watson got him. Don't know if the comms will do or say anything about that, but see what happens. So team number 3 of Lang and Spencer have been lapped. But they're quite happy just to cruise through with the guys now. They just want to get home. As I said, big effort for 3 teams to do the 80 laps. That's 20 kilometres out here. So there you go. Lang hangs over to Spencer. Only 1 sprint remaining, so they'll just cruise around for a little bit. Yeah, there you go, Johnson and Banks-Watson doing another changeover. Swartz and Reed will do another changeover now. So we've got Ben Swart and Nick Banks-Watson in there at the moment. Bernard Swart, sorry. Four laps remaining, so they'll be glad to see that, I'm sure. Peter Spencer putting Chris Lang in. Even though Chris and Peter have been lapped, they still need to be commended for the effort they've put in and helping support the event by at least competing in it. Banks-Watson just threw Johnson in to see how they go from there. Oh, there we go. They have another change there coming through. Robbie Reed now a little bit back. Now they're chasing now. Johnson's got a bit of a gap over Robbie Reed, and there's the bell, but Reed, I think, will have the better legs to get them down. He's got to him, but can he get round him? Coming out of the transition now, both riders digging deep, but no, Robbie Reed just has enough legs to get him over the line. Now, it'll be interesting to see how the points work on this one. No, it should still be right. So in theory, unless there's something jumps out of the box from nowhere, that event should go to, in first place will be Anthony Johnson and Nicholas Banks-Watson. Second place, Robert Reed and Bernard Swart. And third place, Christopher Lang and Peter Spencer. Okay, so here we are. We're coming up now for our event 38, which is round 3 of our Keirins.
Oh, that's really clear. Look at that. Oh, wow. What's that one? That's the journey. Oh. Ooh, what's that? I like the journey because you just right through. Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? I don't even move. It's coming now. Purple glasses. There we are. One, three. Oh, where's my rider?
Okay, let's see how we go now. Around comes the motorbike. There goes the whistle. Josh Rayner riding off the fence. Duncan Allen, Corey Boddington, Ben Clayton and Bryson Spencer. Josh Rayner rolls up onto the wheel. This will be an interesting one now that we've thrown Corey Boddington into the mix in this one. See how he goes with the other guys. Josh Rayner will be able to hold it with them. Riders come around to get 4 to go. Once again, Duncan Allen does that same thing. Gives himself a bit of a gap there, room to move. Boddington looking around now. Ben Clayton sitting in there. Bryson Fletcher still sitting at the back. Motorbike's picking up speed. He's just about to come off. Josh Rayner's just sitting there at the front. Duncan Allen still getting himself that bit of room. No one's turned it on fully. There goes Duncan Allen out of the saddle, and that's going to be over 2 to go. Corey Boddington's moved up onto his wheel. Ben Clayton's coming through. Bryson Fletcher's coming through on his wheel. Duncan Allen still hasn't put up full bore. Corey Boddington still rolling around the outside. Ben Clayton on his wheel. Bryson on the outside. They come through this time to get the bell. We still have Duncan Allen at the front. Corey Boddington sitting there on his wheel. Can he improve his position? Josh Rayner's there. Now Bryson Fletcher coming around the outside. Duncan Allen still holding it there. Corey Boddington, Bryson Fletcher, Josh Rayner, and that's the way they'll go across the line. Well, not quite, no. Bryson Fletcher improved up to 3rd. Josh Rayner will be 4th. And Ben Clayton will roll over the line to claim 5th place. Okay, now moving on to heat 2 of this event. I can't see Molly McGill out there. She wasn't riding earlier, so I assume she's a non-starter here today. So we'll have Mitchell Louis, Christopher Mullins, Teo Choi and Joseph Black in this one. Joseph Black able to put on a bit of a good turn of speed, but a couple of their juniors there can also pedal quite well throughout that event. Some reasonably good times in the Flying 200 last night, so see how they go with this one.
I'm waiting for them to start with stuff. You know, they're like, usually they roll it out.
Okay, so it looks like we have Wayne Godfrey in there. Have to go and check these. It looks like, check the numbers when they come around, see how we go. Yeah, just one addition. Wayne Godfrey sitting there at the back. So that's Mitchell Louis sitting there on the bike. Chris Mullen sitting in behind him. Teo Choi just sitting in there as well. Motorbike increasing its pace at the moment. It'll drop off the track now and give the riders free to go. So Mitchell Louis just sitting there, Mullen sitting there, all the riders just sitting there waiting to see what happens. There's still a fair way out. The riders don't want to go too early. Even coming through now, still got 500 metres to travel. Mitchell Louis sitting at the front, just watching over his shoulder. As is Mullins, Teo. Pace starting to increase a bit now. You can see the pressure starting to go down. Teo Choi coming out of the bunch, has a bit of a head out. Joseph Black's trying to go with him. It's going around the outside of Mullins, coming up past Mitchell Louis. Wayne Godfrey out of it at the moment. So Mitchell Louis' leg speed is phenomenal as he's going down there, but Teo Choi is going to hold on to take this one out. And I'd say it'll be Joseph Black, Mitchell Louis and Christopher Mullins. They come through to take out the minor placings. We'll now move on to Heat 3. Okay, the riders making their way up into their fence now for Heat 3 of round 3. We have Ella out there. No Chris Lang. Glenn Searle, Ebony, Peter Macris at the back. Looks like they've thrown William Holzberger in there. So there they go, rolling through there now. Got Lolly Yang on the bike, William Holzberger on her wheel, then Glenn Searle, Ebony and Peter Macris at the back. We come around this time, the motorbike will pull off. Ella just sitting on the front, Holzberger sitting on her wheel, Searle coming through, then Ebony. Peter Macris just bringing up the back. They've still got 3 laps to go, so no urgency just yet. Ella Lang swings up to the top. Ebony goes down to the bottom of the track, hits the front. Glenn Searle follows that wheel through. Ebony gets onto Glenn Searle's wheel. She goes up around Glenn Searle. Holzberger on Searle's wheel. Ella Lang moving into the second position here. She's dropped in on Ebony's wheels. Macris coming up around the outside of Holzenberger. They come through this time to get the bell. Glenn Searle will push around the outside. And there he goes. Pete Macris is also coming up around the outside. Ebony is being overtaken by Searle. Macris drifts up a little bit high there. Bella Yang holding good pace underneath. They'll go through Glenn Searle, Macris, Ebony, Bella, and William Holzberger will round that effort off. Moving along now, right into Heat 4. Riders for Heat. Okay, riders rolling away there. Flynn Larkins rolling off the fence there. Bit of disarray out there. Scott Slade there, Gratian Punch bringing up the rear. Sandra Stoy in the middle of the field. Scott Slade there at the second last wheel. Riders come around now to get 4 to go. Okay, the bike swinging off now. Flynn Larkin swings straight up. Michael Templeman out of the saddle, gives a bit of a kick. Timon Choi had a bit of a look around. Sandra Stoy goes over the top. Scott Slade slots into there. They come around. Still got 2 laps to go. Templeman out in front. Sandra Stoy giving the chase. Towan Choi trying to keep a lap with that. Scott Slade slowly moving in on there. Sandra Stoy has got to the back wheel of Michael Templeman, but will she go past or not? Yes, she is. She gives a bit of a kick as the bell goes. Scott Slade follows her through. Michael Templeman now in 3rd place. Gratian Punch coming through now to take up into 3rd place. Scott Slade moving up around the outside of Sandra Stoy. Sandra can see him coming. She's put a bit of a kick to come out of that transition. Can she hold on to it? Scott Slade coming down the outside, and he will pip that. Very good race. Very good start there. So Stoy did well in that one, but just pipped at the line by Scott Slade. Finishing quite quick. Now we move on to our under 15 boys Omnium Championships points race. What's so funny in that?
I was playing with the bear on the thing, so when Scott's name was there on the live stream, I pulled the bear up and the bear's going, woo, woo, woo.
Oh, all right.
Jumping up and down. See if you move it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy, isn't it?
I just made him jump up.
The wonders of modern technology.
The wonders of modern technology. So now we're back on the Omni. Oh,
Yes.
yes. Yeah. Remind me. That's... The Omni is a point race. So now it's going to...
A point race.
Oh, like it
Part
is
of the
part
Omni.
of it. The end of it. The end of it. The last one. So this is where
Omni
we're
may have, depending on the event, the Omni may have anywhere between 4 and 6 different events in it.
Yep.
And as you go through it, say some of them, the way they used to, I run on year cards, I used to run endurance events and sprint events. So it gives your endurance riders a chance and the sprinters a chance
Yeah.
to gain points at different times.
Ah, so that's why.
It's an endurance
This is the
event
enduro
points
one.
race, yeah. They don't cater to sprinters much anymore. You just like trying to get rid of them.
But they're the ones that people
They're the ones that people go and watch, and they're the ones that try and take out the Olympics. Because they want to put, no, they look, no. They want to replace it with aerobics. More water power. See what happens every time someone wants to sport added in,
someone has to take it out.
something has to come out. Although they have had a lot over the years.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there's artisticness,
Rhythmically.
rhythmicness.
You've got the ribbon, you've got the ball, you've got all that. Well, I've got 2 bad.
I actually think that's quite technical.
Coach gymnastics.
Yeah, so that's a good one. The baton.
The ball.
Oh, and the ones with the group, that's amazing. They just put them in there, throwing them all together. The one that's, yeah, there's some new sports out there. Like those, well, there's some new ones that they were adding into this Olympics in France. Because the next one's France.
Yes.
Yeah, in Paris, there's a couple of really unusual.
Bagel from.
Cheese rolling. You know, like them. They drove cheese rolling, I don't say. See, that would be a good one. You could nominate cheese rolling for France.
Okay, moving right along with our program now. We're getting on to event 39, which is the under 15 boys Omnium Championship points race.
And then there's going to be 3 of these.
So we'll see how this goes. Everyone getting ready. Mr. Tony Tor making some final instructions in the back straight. Okay, looks like we've got the go-ahead for this event to start. Oscar Schoff down at the bottom of the track. William Elias. William Emilis at the top of the track. Bodie Dusher on his wheel. Joseph Franks rolling up into second place now. George Tucker coming around up the top of the track. And Eli Taylor bringing up the rear of the field at the moment. How's it all going down there? Still can't hear you? There's nothing I can do about it. This is better, but it's not. It won't work. I can't get it to work. Yeah. You see, what happens to use two mics, you can't position yourself directly in the right spot you need to either. So it looks like they're only going to have the 2 sprints for these young riders. So they'll get the, I don't know whether they use a whistle or bell these days, but I'll get at 11 and 1. So, and of course, our points are 5, 3, 2, 1 for first, second, third, and fourth. George Tucker leading him through that time. Bodie Dusher down on his wheel. William Emulis swings up to the top, towards the top, and now he's back down at the front. Oscar Schoff rolling through with him. Josh Franks trying to keep himself up near the front of the group as well. The riders know there's no good spending too many pennies now. There's still a little bit left to go. Harrison Dowling and Eli Taylor just rolling around there. George Tucker up the top of the track again, coming around. And come this time, Bodie Dusher down the back. Oscar Schoff still sitting in there. All the riders quite happy just to cruise around. That is George Tucker, isn't it? He's not even in the program. 24? Yeah. Yeah, you think they could change it down there, wouldn't you? Can't go by what's up there. I was looking at that before and I thought, oh, don't worry. Can't hear me in here. Okay, the riders come around this time, so 13 to go, 2 more laps, and they'll get a bell for a sprint. Then things will liven up a little bit. Young Tucker still sitting on the front, William Emilis under him. All the riders quite happy just to roll around at the moment. Looks pretty sedate now, but hello, Oscar Schoff decides he wants to go. William Emilis isn't going to let that happen. Josh Franks quick to get through there too. Now the riders swing up and then go again, so might as well just kept going because that's would have been the best way to do it. They'll get the bell this time for the sprint. Oscar Schoff took off now. He swung up to the top and let William Emilis come in underneath him, and Josh Franks is there also. But they just better watch out because there's a rider coming around the outside at a great rate of knots, but not quite great enough. Emilis has now hit the lead. Oscar Schoff is coming in on his wheel. So this will put the first one to Emilis, Schoff and Josh Franks. We'll take out the points there. Fourth place looks like it was... thought it might have been Eli. Not too sure. Should have paid more attention. Okay, so here we go. Eli Taylor off the front. No one really wants to chase him down. That's total points. So William Adams will win it. So this is a very big effort. Come on, encourage this young fella along. That's a big effort he's doing out there. Schoff decided he's going to chase it down. Emilus is going with him. He doesn't need to. He's got enough points. They come around at 7 to go. Unfortunately, yep, body language says it all. Sits up. Can't keep it going at that pace, but well done, young Eli. Good try. You've got to try something. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect things to change. So I'll come around this time now with the call of 6 to go. Bodie Dusha sitting down on the bottom of the track. William Emulus just up off his right hip. Oscar Schoff up off his right hip. Oliver Jordan just sitting there at second wheel. Well, the impetus gone out now. I'll come through this time with the call of 5 to go, so I'll wait till about 2 to go unless someone wants to. There we go. Schoff's jumped out of the saddle. He wants to go. Emilus is watching him. Josh Franks is straight onto the wheel. Now these front three riders got a bit of a gap here. Oscar Schoff is still keeping the pressure on. Franks is just trying to get onto the back of the wheel of Emilus. Schoff swings up. Emilus goes through. He's got no reason to rush, so he drops back down. Franks tries to keep it going. Schoff jumps back up again. So you've got the three riders do have a bit of a gap at the front. They'll come in this time to get the call of 3 to go. Schoff has another bit of a dig. Emilus straight onto the wheel. Franks coming through there to get onto his wheel. Now here comes Oliver Jordan trying to get across the gap. Eli Taylor is trying to go with him. So we still have just a two-rider on the front now. We've got Josh Franks and Oscar Schoff right up at the front. Emilus has had enough. I'll come around this time to get the bell. Pull down to see what happens to these two riders here. Franks leads through, swings up, lets Oscar Schoff come in through underneath him. So Schoff looks like he should be able to hold on to take this one out. I don't think Franks will be able to come around him. No, but he'll be able to hold in there for second. So it goes to Schoff, Franks, and that'll be Harrison Dowling. So they'll get the points there, which will go to their overall points for the Omnium. So just wait on a bit of an update there from the overall points. Yes, it was. Eli Taylor got fourth in that one. Thought he did do that. Good on him. Oh. So only 3 points separating first and second in the under 15 Omnium. But still, 3 points is 3 points. That's all it takes. You only need to win by 1. Now, once again, we've got a combined event, under 15 and under 17 girls points race. Okay, the girls on the start line. There they get the whistle. Away they roll. Emily Sanders leads them out this time. Once again, even though the girls are combined, they will be racing for individual medals for the under 15 girls and under 17 girls. There we got the whistle for the start of the event. Eden Cunnington out of the saddle, picks the pace up straight away. Looks like victorious Chloe Buckley coming through there for a turn. Sienna Monteith, next rider in line. All these girls want to pick this all up. April Paddy in there in the mix. So this is a 30-lap event, so the girls will get 3 sprints. They should get a whistle on 21 and 11, and bell on 1. It's Eden Cunnington hitting out again. Might be enough to disrupt the group. Only one rider's gone with her. Well, Megan Moore decided she didn't want to see that happen, so she's gone across to close that group down and gone straight through. Ava Carmen Robbins is on her wheel, following her through. Then we have Chloe Buckley trying to get through there as well. Emily Sanders coming around. She wants to be up in that front group because there's an under 17 rider up there. So you got Megan Moore and Emily Sanders, both under 17 riders. Next rider in the line, Chloe Buckley, she's an under 15 rider, so doesn't really need to chase that group down. Although Eden Cunnington would like it if they did. Nerve Parslow's gone out. So as if the young girls chasing the front ones down, you've got another under 15 sitting on you, and they're going to beat you in the sprints. You've done it all chasing a group down that's irrelevant to what you are doing. So Sienna Monteith swings up, hands it over to Eden Cunnington. She doesn't want to go any further with it. The back group has steadied off a little. So we've got 2 under 17s and an under 15 out the front. And Eden Cunnington's chasing to go across. Ava Carmen Robbins is trying to go with her. Okay, they've all made contact. That group slowed down, so you've got the whole group back together again. It's a bit of a worry because they've spent all those pennies, and next time around they will receive the bell for their first sprint. So Eden Cunnington at the front there when they receive the bell. Emily Sanders, then followed through there by Nave Parslow. Megan Cooper up the outsides. Sienna Monteith trying to fight her way through to get some points as well, and that's what she will do just that. Emily Sanders will take out some of the points. Neve Parslow will get some. Sienna Monteith, Eden Cunnington. So you've got a mixture of under 17s and under 15s in there. Just give everyone points. So the girls will have two sprints remaining. Eden Cunnington will lead the way through then with Isabel Potts on her wheel. She swings up, hands it over to Sienna Monteith. Let's see who that rider is. I think it's Victoria Smith. So Victoria Smith had a quick look over the shoulder and she said, oh, there's a gap there. I'll take advantage of that. So she jumps out of the saddle. She's put a bit of a gap there. And Chloe Buckley hits the front to try and chase that down. Megan Moore's going out after it. Remember, the under-15s don't need to chase, but they will. Ava Carmen Robbins there, Sienna Monteith, two of the under-15s working in through there. Chloe Buckley once again. So Victoria Smith catches a couple of the lap riders and keeps going. Sienna Monteith swings up, hands the reins over to Chloe Buckley. Let's just see how long Victoria Smith can stay out in front of this group. So some of the riders there, the under-15s, there's no real need for them to chase if they don't have the desire to do so. It's of no benefit to them to bring the rider back. So Armely Sanders swings up, hands it over to Ava Carmen Robbins. Chloe Buckley next in line. Sienna Monteith rolling through there. Okay, looks like Megan Moore decided she'd go. Eden Cunnington's going with her. Emily Sanders is still staying in there with that little group as well. Chloe Buckley brings them back together. Sienna Monteith is there as well. They'll come through to get the bell this time for the second sprint. Emily Sanders leads them through. Megan Moore on her wheel. Chloe Buckley coming in there. Sienna Monteith sitting in the fourth wheel. Eden Cunnington going backwards a little. Ava Carmen Robbins in there, so points for everybody. But they'll go across the line there. Emily Sanders, Megan Moore, Chloe Buckley, Sienna Monteith. So those riders all getting points in their different age categories. Two more to go. No, one more. I'm not going to load it as a team nomination. Oh, that's team sprint. Nomination. They'll have one, will they? Everyone will be packing up. Okay, the young ladies are still rolling around. They haven't caught it yet, have they? Oh, yes, they must have. Pointing here's the leader, so... Oh. Should be watching, shouldn't I? So Eden Cunnington having a bit of a hit out there now on the front. Trying to stir this group up a bit. Because she was off the front before. So Ava Carmen Robbins swings up. Hands it over to Sienna Monteith. Girls are riding around now. So Eden Cunnington puts in a little bit of a spurt. Emily Sanders quickly to get across to that. Chloe Buckley moves up. Ava Carmen Robbins, Sienna Monteith coming through there as well. All these riders want to get in. They're all vying for the final points that are up for grabs. Okay, Isabel Pott leads them through on that time around. So as soon as Emily Sanders swings up, Eden Cunnington jumps out of the saddle and away she goes. Isn't much of a response this time, and Eden will come in and get 3 to go. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the bunch. There she is going. Okay, so it's under 15's chasing her down. That's Neve Parslow out chasing now. Now comes Emily Sanders coming out of the bunch. Megan Moore coming out of the bunch. Chloe Buckley chasing out of the bunch as well. Comes in to get the bell. Eden Cunnington quickly passed by Emily Sanders. Megan Moore coming around the outside as well. So that'll be the placings for the under 17s. Another one to come in there as well. You've got Eve Parslow still coming in the under 15s. We'll hold that out. So there you got it. Emily Sanders. So that'll be a good, good mix of points over those 2 grades. Yep, 30. Same. Okay, now we move on to our the penultimate event of the afternoon. That's if the team sprint does go ahead. Haven't heard anything. Maybe it will. So now we're on the under 17 boys Omnium Championships points race. Okay, under 17 boys have rolled away for the start of their event. See whether they get excited early or leave it till they get near the sprints. Just rolling around here nice and steady at the moment. Now they've got the whistles. Toby Jones sitting on the front, swing straight away up for Hughes. Lang sitting there on third wheel. Goodwill rolling through now. All the riders just gently rolling along at the moment. No anxious moments just yet, but it's only early. So Walters, Goodwill will swing up quite quickly. Okay, Walters goes through, Lang goes through to the front. Goodwill now does a quick turn. All quick turns happening at the moment. Coming this time to get the call of 26 to go. Douglas Savage swings up. Alex Hughes swings up. Pardon? Okay, Ethan Lang decided he's going to make a race out of it. Henry Goodwill wants to go across there with him. Sam Hilditch also wants to get on the action here. Doesn't want to let him get too far away because they've only got 24 laps to go. So there he goes. Lang still going. Hilditch and Goodwill swapping turns. The rest of the bunch will soon make its way up to the... Oh, I was hoping he wouldn't drop in there. That's good, he didn't. Wasn't much of a gap there anyhow. So Toby Jones quickly comes across, closes the gap down. I don't know that he'll go... No, he's not going to go on with it. Quickly swings up. He just wants to make sure he brings all the bunch back together. So I'll have a bunch sprint for this one. We'll get the bell next time around. Mitchell Lewis sit at the front. Alex Hughes coming down there. Toby Jones still in there. Eli Walters, or Lachlan Walters, sorry. All relevant to go now. There comes the bell. Toby Jones has taken off. Alex Hughes around the outside. Sam Hilditch is coming through as well. So don't know if Jones can hold on. There comes Alex Hughes, will come around the outside. So Jones will get second. Sam Hilditch will get third place in that. And they've split the field in half with a move like that. So Douglas Savage just trying to get across that last little bit of a gap. So there we go. So Lang's having another dig to see if he can go out. Hilditch jumps out of the saddle. So Jones is looking at him. So if he goes, so Jones is back down onto. No, we're swinging up. We're still swapping turns at the back. No one really wants to go with it. Alex Hughes didn't want anything to do with it. So it might be a good move here from Ethan Lang. None of the riders at the back at the moment want to do any work. Well, not enough work to bring you back in here at the moment. So Hilditch has a quick look across to see what's happening. He swings up the track, hands it over to Douglas Savage. So he's put a bit more of a gap onto the field. So Alex Hughes sitting at the front, controlling the pace. Keeley going through now, putting a bit of a turn on the front. Ethan Lang holding now nearly a half a lap lead. So still not a lot of effort on to bring him back. So Sam Hilditch just hit the front. Douglas Savage is on his wheel. Alex Hughes there, and the pace has picked up now. Bringing it back now. Porter White in there as well. Toby Jones still in there with the chasing group. Jones going through the middle now as they come around to get the bell. Henry Goodwell is on his wheel. Douglas Savage drops back in and fills a little gap, but Jones is going through there. They'll come in to pick up the minor placings, but let's see who's going to get them. Alex Hughes is coming around to try and pick up second place, and then you might have Porter White will come through to get up third, and Henry Goodwill will pick up the minor place. That will ultimately bring Ethan Lang back into the fold. So we see how we go now for the final sprint. Cunningham around here now, 8 laps to go. Henry Goodwill is out there on his own with Sam Hilditch. Douglas Savage next. 8 laps to go. Everybody's looking around, everyone's got tired legs. Only 7 laps remaining. No urgency out there in the field at all. Riders come through. Eliza Carnes comes through, swings up. Lang still in there again. Jones. All riders just riding through. They may just be riding through, but they are still all attentive of the other riders and what they're doing. Keely goes through and swings up. Douglas Savage had a quick look over the shoulder to see what was happening and decided to take a bit of a flyer as he comes in and get 3 to go. Henry Goodwill doesn't like that idea, so he's going to try and chase him back. And then he's followed through then by Lachlan Walters and then Lang. Any other riders wanting to play the game? Henry Goodwill jumps in there. He's had a bit of a look around. Toby Jones wants to get in amongst the points as well, so they come around. Still got 2 to go. Douglas Savage is quickly rounded up by Lachlan Walters, followed through by Lang, then Goodwill. So the whole gang is back together just about by the time they hit the back straight, and Savage has used all his pennies. They come through this time to get the bell to go, and Lang comes out and he's going for it. He's followed then by Ford. Alex Hughes wants to be in amongst the pennies, so he's gone around the outside. Samuel Hilditch is trying hard, but I think he's out of it at this stage. They'll come through this time, and as they come over the line, it'll be Walters, Hughes, Porter White, and yes, Hilditch may have snuck in for 4th. But hard to tell at this angle, but that was a good finish. Does anyone know if we're actually having a team sprint?
No, I have no idea whether it's happening. I thought it was. It might be, because maybe it's the Masters practicing for their nationals. Because I think Scott's in the team sprint for summer.
I can't see anyone getting ready for it, that's all.
Is that the end of the race? Yep, that's the end. So you can keep going around and he's just one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the events that we do have in the program, unless we are having a team sprint. Oh, let there be light. And there was. So I'm just waiting to see. I'd like to get confirmation. Where? I thought it might have been Masters team sprint. Because the Masters got nationals coming up, but it looks like because we've got three yellow bananas over there with helmets on. So looking at it from here, I can see a couple of riders look like they're having a team sprint. Have no idea who's in what, but that's not going to stop us. I'll just make it up as we go along, as usual. So I see they've got the starting gates out, so because the Nationals coming up very soon. Some of these riders may want a, will be riding in team sprints, so may want a bit of a hit out. So I see Scott Slade walking up the track. Glenn Searle there, Kerry Boddington. I see Peter Macris over there with his helmet on, so, and Ben Clayton. Unless they've got presentations, but they haven't got presentations here. Presentation. Not here. Well, there they are. Presentations under 15 and Masters Madison, yeah.
So there must be something else though.
Team spread.
Team sprints.
That's happening now. Okay, there we go. We have our first team there ready to go. Scott Slade, Glenn Searle and Corey Boddington all ready for a go. This is 3 laps.
Music off. These guys. So you got the music down.
Down. Okay, there we go. The first team's away. Scott Slade gets them off the mark. Glenn Searle's there. Corey Boddington, he will soon catch up. Well, Scott Slade's away a bit too quick for the guys. So not much of an advantage there. He swings up, so we got we don't have a clock running. So I wonder how they're doing the timing on this. Must be doing handheld times, which is a bit of a worry because we got no one on the finish line, so they're sort of just a bit of a guess. Pardon? Yeah, but he's not on the finish line, so it's a guess. No, it's the finish line back there.
Team sprint standing. 0. Team 1, 0.
So have no idea what the time was to let you know, unfortunately.
I went to go team 1 and 2, 0. Oh, that's Tom. Tom, yeah. And Ella must be doing a team sprint.
So this must be a bit of a mixed team here. We got K.O. Choi, Bryson Fletcher and Duncan Allen.
I like those times because I think
I think it's K.O. Choi, isn't it?
he didn't have a time.
I can't see his number. 36. That's a very good start. 3 riders there, very close together. Well, Tao Choi, remember, has a smaller gear, so he can he gets off the mark a bit quicker. So it's up to the other riders to bring him back a bit. So Bryson Fletcher's virtually doing a turn on his own there. So Tao Choi will swing up. Bryson Fletcher will go through. Duncan Allen on his wheel. So they come around now. Getting the call of, that's the bell, call of 1 to go. So unfortunately I can't give you any times. We don't have the clock, a team for the clock for the first team. And that says 47.008, but if you use a manual timer for the first one, you use a manual timer for the second one. It looks like we've got another team coming up. We've got Sandra Stoy, Peter Macris and Ben Clayton. All making their way up now. They should be used to this. They do this sort of thing on, they ride with each other on Tuesday nights, so they may have a bit of an idea of how they fare. Sandra and Ben, very similar speeds.
I wonder who's running that one. Oh, maybe Mitch? Mitch must be doing his third lap.
Okay, riders ready now. We'll have our 10-second beep. There we go. And then it counts down from 5. There we go. Sandra Stoy taking him out of the blocks. Peter Macris is the next wheel. So he's got to get down onto the wheel pretty quickly. That's not bad. It's pretty good, actually. Good formation there. I'll come around this time. Sandra Stoy will swing up. Each rider does 1 lap at the front. Riders up. Macris takes over. It was a 21.7 for the first lap. Let's see what they stop the clock at in the second, at the end of the second lap. There it is, 36.7. Right the last time, didn't it? Or did I? Okay, there we go, and stop the clock at 52.313. Now here we have another team coming out with Michael Pratt, Ray Smith and Josh Rayner. Just saw Josh over there, and he's can't miss him in his totally workwear skin suit. Sure, it's Pratt, isn't it? Number 49, where is he? So there we go. Pratt trying very hard to get the bike moving. Smith on his wheel. Josh Rayner may have a slightly bigger gear on. He's off the back a little bit, but he'll soon close that gap up. Pratt's got his gear rolling now. He'll come around to finish his first lap, swing up, hand it over to Smith. Rayner now on the wheel of Smith. They come flying around now. Let's see what they do in the second lap. And stop the clock at 38.121. So see what Josh Rayner can do in this last lap. Time of 54.193. That's Gratian Punch. Is it?
Scotty said, can you make an announcement about helping to pick up the chair? Yeah, at the end, they're going to stack the chairs 8 times. Yeah, 8 times.
10, usually. Most places is 10.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say,
Who's
we
Scott?
have to do a school 8 because they're really
Who's Scott?
Scott. Red dog. Scott.
Oh, Scott Slade. Oh, yes.
Yeah, because last time Louise had to bus it and everyone left. She was stuck in chairs.
It's a job. Okay, we have another team down here. Looks like Gratian Punch, Peter Spencer, and Christopher Lang. Well, Gratian Punch doesn't quite qualify for Gold Coast, but he's from Byron Bay, so the other side of the border. There he goes. Had a bit of trouble getting that bike going. Probably mainly because of the fact that he's not used to using a start gate, I'd say. And they take a little bit of getting used to. Maybe he's not used to doing starts. He's just not. He's not quite quick enough on the acceleration. And there you go. First lap there at 22.7. So Spencer will wind that up and pick that up. Lang sitting nice and close on the wheel. Now let's see what happens here. He'll swing up at 39. We'll come around and see what time Chris stops the clock. And there we go. That's a 55.348. Now, looks like we had another team. I can see Ella Liang coming up onto the track. Looks like Victoria Smith.
Ella will do second and Nick will be third rider. Yep.
Who's the third rider? 20, that's Toby Jones. It's a boy. Oh, Mitchell Lewis, right? Toby Jones is 26. So here we go. We've got a mixed team coming out here. Victoria Smith on the bottom of the track. Ella Lang next. Then Mitchell Louis on the top of the track. There we go. Out of the gates well. All riders dropping in on the wheels quite successfully. Each rider dropping into formation correctly. They come down, complete the first lap at 22.297. Ella Liang takes over now with Mitchell Louis sitting right on the wheel. And that's what you want to do. You want to be so close to it, you're on the other side of it. They get the bell now. They do that in 39.2. So see what Mitchell Louis can do in this final lap. Now he'll bring it home now and he'll stop the clock at 55.352. Mike and Ann still here? Looks like we've got a junior team coming up. We've got young George Tucker ready there. I can see Flynn Larkins also ready to come out and have a go. Looks like their other rider there will be the other one. It's a real cowboy show. Sam and Joy, yeah. Okay, so George Tucker's got the moving off the mark. Taman Choi is coming in second wheel. Flynn Larkins bringing up as the anchor man for this team. Bit of a gap there between Taman Choi and Flynn Larkins, which means Flynn Larkins not getting much of a set. And then again, you have a look at the size of Choi. There's not much of a set anyhow, so let's stop the clock at 48.7. Okay, let's see. Flynn Larkins coming around now, the final turn, and he will stop the clock at 1 minute 569. 1:00:569. So now we have Ethan Lang. Henry Goodwill. And Lachlan Walters. So there we go, Lang to get him off the mark. Goodwill will be able to drop in on his wheel. Walters can drop down on there. They're going down into the back straight. These boys should have a reasonable sort of a time. Lang sits down, he'll come through to, and then swing up after completing the first lap. Just a smidgen over 21. See what their second lap time is. Which would indicate, give us a bit of an indication of where they're going. There's a 37. And Lachlan Walters really pedalling in this final lap. This is going to be a reasonable sort of a time. He's going to stop the clock at 53.090. Okay, who have we got down here now? Number 2. Number 3's in the box. April Paddy. These are under 15 girls. Number 10 is Matilda Pratt. Okay, some of our younger riders having a bit of a hit out at this. What number's on the top? Okay, so we'll see how this goes here. April Paddy's leading this out. What was the next number? 10. Oh, they're coming around now. April will swing up. She handed over to Oliver Jordan. What was the third number? Just done. So let's see, Jordan will come through. They stop the clock at 41. Eli Taylor will be the anchor. So going around now, he's 100 metres to travel. And he has stopped the clock at 1:00.421. Attention out there in the pits. Attention in the pits, please. If once you vacate your chair, if you could pack them up, that would be greatly appreciated. And that is once you've finished, if you could pack your chair up. I think it's rows of either 8 or 10 high. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Now that concludes the racing for the round 7 of the AMV Sprint Series and also some of our junior championship events. Won't be long now, and I think they'll be going ahead with the presentations of these events, of the championship events.
And could we today please do a soccer goal? For the Lord. Oh look, I've moved it. That's perfect. Why have we got these weird colours for first, second, third? I think they're inclusive colours. Yeah, everywhere's got them now. First, second and third is like blue, red, green. They're inclusive.
Pardon?
Why do we have the purple? Yeah. Why is it purple, pink and orange?
All right, I'll play you through the game. What do I?
No, that's what we're asking. Why do you know?
You have the podium.
The podium used to be like that, and it was blue, like a blue on it, sugar rip on the flat. But then it was the blue, and then they had like a gold trim, a bronze trim, a silver trim. It used to have a different inclusive colour.
I don't know why it is.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Why is the podium that colour?
Two. The last one. Moon was there. I was like a podium.
Yeah.
Yeah? What?
When you say the second, that doesn't mean it's doesn't now.
You mean can I take your phone 6 times?
Are you doing prezos, man?
You want me to?
Yeah. Please. Did I say please?
I had some salt. That's it. You feel free to have the last one. I had my whole package of emails. There's a lot of work to see for people. I mean, way more. I'm doing something. But afterwards, it was
Probably jump to the one that's jumping back on, so watch their racing.
yeah. I'm
Well, not for me. I wasn't on the game today. I think it's the shoes.
You just one for a new shoe.
Yeah,
On that.
I got the wrong hoodies on.
rocket.
You haven't brought us any news there.
Yeah. Right. It's got a second one. And it's got a That's right. Let's see. Ewan. No, I don't. Other Facebook page.
You can ring Scott, tell him something.
Yeah, in Scott.
Hello, you may have to do rename.
Well, half the doctors send their kids to grammar only because it's college and the hospital is the dangerous and everything's technical. And then, like, they
For Scott?
leave them on you. Yeah, we'll see you next time, whenever that is.
I feel like it's only a week or two away.
National. Well, I mean, not really. They keep talking about it. And about this yesterday, and we're like, oh, not coming. So, and we have to realise it's not coming. Oceania. That's right. It's a festival to do, and then they just do the, like, they'd film during the day a little bit, and then they do the evening. Or anything like that would be during the day, just to get film. I remember that last time. So which one's Brooke? What is she? She's just taken the next level Brooke. She's singing, she does karaoke.